Shout out, by the way, to our wonderful Lucas from Wikipedia, who's updating this bracket for us. Really, really helpful to have those guys. And, you know, they do so much for the Rocket League community. I don't think that people give them enough credit. All right, well, looks like we're getting started with this one. Toxic, Fairy. Toxic is the higher rated of the two players, but Fairy Peak is Fairy Peak. So I'm going to say Fairy Peak for the win here. Even though Toxic, like I said, has been putting in the hours recently to the ranked games, Fairy Peak is just such a beast when it comes to 1v1 and when it comes to competition. Oh my goodness, so what a flick to start off. Toxic showing that this is absolutely going to be an on-form display by him. I believe Fairy Peak is also streaming this, so if you want to catch his POV, he'll be doing French, I'm sure, as usual. So any French viewers that want to catch the live reactions, or anybody else, head over there. Fairy Peak actually choosing to dribble with ball cam there. That wasn't forced by the spectator. Decided the ball cam would give him a better view of the ball. And quick demo will equalize the game for him. Fairy Peak back in it already. Toxic trying to get away. He knew the demo was coming, but he just couldn't accelerate quickly enough. Big kickoff win on the outside by Toxic. Is he going to go for a wall play here? No, cuts in field. And already we're seeing a priority with ground play from Toxic. He flicked the first goal. Had every option in the world there to go off the wall. Decided to go infield instead. Not that either is better than the other. Fairy Peak might want another demo. Instead cuts infield for the backflip. An early challenge from Fairy Peak, keeping the pressure up in the midfield. Keeping the pressure up even in the back corner, it would seem. Managing his boost as well. Fairy Peak looking sharp. Stays away from the demo in the back wall. This is a great display already from Fairy, but Toxic will be absolutely on point with these kind of things. There it is, back wall demo. So these are the kind of things we're seeing all the time in ones at the moment. It's extremely meta, so I expect to see plenty of those being attempted from Toxic. Fairy catches him off his line, 2-1. He saw Toxic moving in, punished him immediately. You know, a lot of demos been dodged already by Fairy. Toxic caught him once, wasn't able to score off it, and Fairy has dodged every other one that he's attempted on him. Fairy's going to win this kickoff, even though it's in his back corner. He's got the possession, he's got the boost, and he's got the first chance to score. Denies mid boost as well. Toxic forced to back off all the way. Fairy Peak immediately switches to the open side of the field. But Toxic closes the gap. That's exactly the right play. Pre-flip challenge will get Fairy in the way of the ball. But Toxic did the right thing there. Fairy was trying to open up a big shooting angle. Toxic cut him off. But oh, in an attempt to do it again, he's almost been scored on. Needs to be really careful. If you're trying to cut off a big dribble angle like that, you have to have the shooting angle covered on your way in. Because if you don't, you're at the mercy of a striker like Fairy. He's always going to get those heavy hits. So I expect everybody in this tournament is going to get those heavy hits, but just getting long shots, especially long shots off the wall, always been something that Fairy's known for. Toxic establishes a boost advantage. Speed flip into the corner to keep Fairy out of the play. Oh, what a pickup on the boost. I don't know if Toxic even knew Fairy got that one. He was trying to get a boost steal. Fairy stole it on spawn. 3-1. He got it as he was leaving the pad as well. That's brutal. The timing from Fairy was absolutely sublime. And a low-scoring game. I expect to see a few low-scoring games, quite a lot of low-scoring games today, because in a best-of-1 you can't, you know, just go all in on a comeback. Fairy has to settle for a 50-50 as he comes down from the wall air dribble. Staying very safe, not even given an option for Toxic to demo him here. The Englishman struggling to catch Fairy, despite several attempts being made. Now Fairy has control of the ball, control of the game. But a 2-goal lead, it really may as well be a 1-goal lead in 1v1. You got to think of it as a 1-goal lead, because all it takes is a kickoff goal and you're in a tie game. And there's so many different ways to generate kickoff goals these days. Fairy jumps over another back corner demo. Look at him go. Hasn't been putting the time into rank ones, but he's still with the meta. Toxic almost gets away from him. Fairy's back. Boost steal's coming for Toxic, but Fairy is hanging on, letting the clock do the work for him at the moment. Pre-jump from Fairy in the midfield goes right through Toxic's challenge. I don't know how Fairy managed to win this one. He had hardly any boost. Wasn't supersonic. Still wins the 50-50 by faking high, going low at the last second. Toxic gets a bump on Fairy, but that's actually going to help Fairy because he's now able to get a run up on the ball. And with a minute to go, he's past Toxic again. Toxic's looking to get back and save this. Not going to get anywhere near. Fairy Peak extends the lead. What a performance from the legend. He can always come back, and I think we know this by now. Fairy can and will always be able to come back. But here's the kickoff goal. This is what we're talking about. You got to think of it as a 1-goal lead because the next goal could be immediate. So Fairy going left, or actually he went right, but straight into Toxic, who's dodging the same way as him. He's gonna need to switch it up here. Toxic going for another hook kickoff. Fairy actually messed up his approach, and I think that's somewhat helped him because that's at least forced the ball to the side of the field. Toxic wants the air dribble bump. Fairy, oh, that's just casual. Effortless defense from Fairy. Stops the ball dead in such a tricky position. Holds on to that 2-goal lead with time really running out for Toxic. Fairy backs up Toxic with a fake shot. Backs him up now with a fake flick. And when he reaches the halfway line, he lets go a real one. Oh, big 50-50 win by Toxic. Is that on target? Not quite, but this might be. Fairy demos him. He couldn't get to the ball first, but he can stop Toxic from getting there at all. Toxic has no other option than to charge in. He needs a goal right now. But another back wall demo fails. Fairy has been on the ball, dodging those start to finish, and he will advance into round 2. Fairy Peak is back, and he is in business. He means business today. What a performance by the legend. So far, what have we had? Yeah, so okay, I'm 3 for 3 for predictions. I'm pretty happy with that, because this is a tough format to make correct predictions with. You've got to be honest. It's a tough one. Elsewhere, let's see what else has been happening. I don't think we've got any other updates for you guys since the last time I showed the bracket. None yet. Joria's Relating Wave is still happening on Tylacto's channel. This must be nearing a conclusion. But with the amount of goals, okay, it has concluded. Joria's has advanced over Relating Wave. And I think Drally versus AMS is also happening right now. It is, and it is... right now, final minute, 4-goal lead for Drally. That should be Drally versus Fairy Peak in round 2. My goodness, what a game that is. But next up on my stream is Scrubkilla versus Lorley. Appjack versus Cash is going to be streamed by Tylacto. And since Razir's Exotic is finished, or an FF, I think that means that Shogun, yeah, he was going to cast Razir's Exotic. He can move on. I think he can have Ashley Kiernan in that case. Yeah, he can take Ashley Kiernan.